also, because they know their potential, but now they got to turn it into consistency. And I think that's where we want to see.
Well, right away, we'll start off with a shot from Roldiz, aka Raul. You all see him on the show with Daz every week. But now he's got to show up on the field, and that's a much different job. T. Carell here, also a fun player to watch. I've always enjoyed watching T. Carell, and I'm glad the Sonics have been making the run they've been able to. Shock has to hustle, get back on D, but he can't get off the ground. And Chicago's left wing push winds up successful.
This is even more impressive when you think Chicago has no boost when he originally grabs the ball. He has 12 when he takes the shot, but that's just all good decision-making and a great follow-up. There's a lot of extra work there for G2, but a well-deserved first goal.
That I think is really reflective of veteran play. That route, like you said, had everything to do with where the boost was, how to get it, as well as the shot. And I mean, you're combining two different level classes there. And that's exactly what you expect when you see a player like Chicago that's been around for so long. Nice shot opportunity denied by J-Naps, and Roldiz also gets stolen as Chicago comes out from the left-hand side.
Going back to your point earlier about the Sonics, you know, I do agree. Watching T. Carell get into his own form has been a very impressive sight. But then also to your other point about Roldiz, yeah, although we act cordial on the show, the field is a totally different place, and we won't get any sympathy from me.
Not at all. I mean, I think it's always kind of fun watching people that are like, you know, fun havers. If you then like, all right, this is my job, bro. Different world, and you see that from the Sonics. You know, they really settle down and go ahead and do their thing. So right now, after a minute and a half, G2 have the lead, and Roldiz will keep it at 1. Offensive transition. Not really going to be made use of. So Chicago one more time goes towards the net. Clump up. And it's a trap from Susquehanna.
Yeah. You want to keep that in the corner. Keep it low and to the side. This is why you don't want to put it in the air. Chicago immediately dishes a pass mid. And although no one's there this time, J-Naps has to be there in net. He gets a solid save. It's a drop down. Roldiz not fast enough. J-Naps picks it up. And G2's going to look to move downfield.
J-Naps here looking for the shot. Too high! But a nice sequence. Not nice enough. This ain't horseshoes. You got to land exactly. J-Naps with a secondary opportunity. Shock says no. And Drees here. Keeps it G2's. Dishes down. Chicago takes the pass after J-Naps walks past it. And Drees off of the assist. The extended assist, if you will. Chicago puts another one in the net.
This one really has to do with J-Naps getting that bump on Roldiz. Roldiz trying to get a piece of the ball, and J-Naps not only bumps him, plays it past him, and that sets up the lane for Chicago to score off of. Right now, counterattack's way too deadly here for Sonics. They have not been able to stop that G2 press, and the only reason it's just a 2-goal difference is only because G2 are coming up a little bit empty on some of their shots.
Yeah, the accuracy isn't landing, but the sequences have been. And very impressive there. And again, just like I talked about that first goal being real veterancy as Chicago goes for the boost, the second one, as the ball goes across the field, also real veterancy. J-Naps knowing, I think a lot of players in J-Naps position take the shot, and it winds up getting blocked. The selflessness. And here, he'll take one for himself. Nice shot there. Again, guess who? Off of Drees.
It's getting ridiculous early here. 3 goals. J-Naps just doesn't. It just seems like he has a free net to shoot at. That being said, that's his first goal out of 8 shots.
Wow.
But if anything, this one, no, it won't be the first goal for the Sonics. Okay. Thought they would at least be able to get one off the quick kickoff, but that's going to be their 3rd. As the totals here are almost insane. We're looking at 15 shots to 3. G2 has dominated this game.
Yeah, I mean, that's just oppressive is the word I want to use. Shock can't make it. Neither can T. Carell. Both of them going to the bar like a Friday. Not a great look here for Susquehanna. On the right-hand side, ball will rattle on down. T. Carell goes for the defender, not the ball. It's Roldiz. They might be able to have the opportunity, but Chicago shoves past Shock. A nice stop by T. Carell momentarily. But it's JNaps. Makes it past one. Shot by Drees. Hand in the face.
Oh, good stop there. JNaps trying to cover that up. T. Carell finally hits it off to the side. Chicago will put a testing ball there, but Rolders is there. That being said, this has been the name of the game all game long. It's just been G2 pushing continuously on the Sonics end. Sonics, no control, and the defense is holding on, but if you play defense all game, what are you doing? They have not been able to break out.
Exactly. That's one of the bigger problems here. I think Stacks tends to say this a lot, where it seems like Susquehanna are playing not to lose, not necessarily to win, which unfortunately I think when you're going up against a team like G2 can kind of get into your mental, but that's absolutely not the approach you want to take. G2 are able to take game number one relatively easily.
Whew. 18-4.
Insane.
In terms of the shot totals. That's how wild that is. Again, Sonics is 3 chances. I mean, one of them I think probably should have went in when Rodis had the free look at the net, but I think he rushed the shot. Or maybe it looked like it was tough. I will say that much. That being said, I mean, you do not want another game like that if you're Sonics. Coming out like that, it was just, they just gave the ball to G2. G2 continued to play around them and, just kept peppering the net. Sonics have to fight back. They have to fight for control in the midfield. They have to make G2 work. If they don't do it this game, then the series is already over.
Definitely what we're going to be looking for here in game number 2. Like you said, I mean, the biggest thing is to get out of the defensive half. And so is it as simple as look for more offense, or is there something more in depth that the Sonics have to do?
I think for them, they have to play the starve. G2 is starving them on their own half, and then they're also just keeping control of the ball in midfield. They have to play their challenges well, and they also have to play it. Whoever's second man has to play a really important role in some of their plays. They're not getting a solid second man follow-up on some of their touches, and that's really killing them. You see Shock try to play that in the midfield. He's last back. So he plays it up, and then someone immediately is on it from G2. But when they pass it like you just saw just now, they're able to get it into the corner, set up a play, and T. Carell can take a shot. They need more of that going into this game.
More of the straight, I mean, just straight up and down is teamwork, right? Like the individual prowess. The second man is the biggest thing that you really highlighted there, and I have to agree. I've seen a couple of, in the few times that the Sonics had the offensive shot, they just weren't able to find the secondary opportunity. And the other side, G2 has just been peppering the enemy goal like it's their job. Spoiler, it is. And so Drees here trying to give it a shot. 2 defenders will try and stop him. T. Carell with a nice defensive set. And Shock hands it right on back. That's not the soft touch we wanted to see. That's what those touches on defense seem like Susquehanna are just handing it back to G2 time and time again.
Yeah, it's really tough, too, because you have Chicago or someone from G2 playing up front looking for bumps like the one we're seeing now. JNap's shot's going to go in, and G2 will start game 2 off with a goal.
T. Carell here just trying to keep up, but a great job from Drees to kind of like jump above him, prevent the early jump. And by Drees like clogging that air lane, so to speak, that really just prevents the defender from getting off the ground. It's just like that G2 finds the lead.
But look at how G2 bring that ball up. With JNap's ball on the hood, keeps it close to him instead of just sending it away. Sonics in their clears are just doing just simply that. They clear the ball. They don't necessarily hold it, take possession, and say, okay, what can I do? When you see Shock with this carry, at least they can get a 50 in the midfield, and it does something more for them. But these touches without even a second touch or, again, a second man, that's been the big killer because they just give up possession so easily.
Well, here the Sonics have possession. Shock will go towards the net. Nobody there for the rebound. T. Carell sets up Roldis, and he's rolling dubs. Nice job there, and it's a tie game.
T. Carell with the pinch out. You got to give this for Roldis. So speedy, doesn't give any time for Chicago to get a clear, straight up dunks them. Tied up game for the Sonics as they breathe life into their offense.
And folks, listen, I'm not saying that Daz is the smartest man when it comes to Rocket League, but you pointed out straight up and down they needed more team play. They get more team play, they immediately score. Drees here denied.
Oh,
and
my goodness.
the triple commit actually works out. It sends JNABs to the other side. So we stayed tied, although Susquehanna fans breathing heavy after that one.
Yeah, that was too close for Sonics. That looked like that one was going to go in, but the defense works out. Now, this is where things get interesting. G2 tries to experiment with ways to bring it up. Drees, how much boost does he have in the tank? I'm trying to figure it out. It looks like he has more than 100 sometimes when he's on the ball. The Chicago clears that one. Drees has to come up and make a save, and here's some Sonics pressure, at least for a moment, as they get the ball downfield.
Same thing there. T-Corral takes a shot. Nobody there to play on the board. T-Corral gets taken down, but it's Roldiz shoving the ball up front. And I don't mind this one. That one really just clearing so that they don't have to deal with the 3-on-2 mismatch on D. It's exactly what you want to look for. Same team there.
That's a scary double commit. But they don't get punished for it. I think that's a good point. You also said, you know, that clear towards the back wall. That's really good for them because, again, they don't want to give a clear to G2 where they can immediately push the ball back in. They want kind of touches like the one we see in Chicago. Give it in the midfield. Don't give them too much pressure as they're able to, you know, actually have time to think. I think that's huge for Sonics to be able to figure out, you know, what they want to do next. Final minute of gameplay coming up here. Game tied 1-1.
Because that was the big deal, was that every single time Susquehanna dealt with a shot, they just sort of handed it back to G2. Drees by himself. Oh, 1 versus 2. It do not matter. The new blood shows up and makes him bleed.
Oh, that's so good. That is so good from him. So this one, the air roll onto the jump, he makes them have to guess high or low. He saw Roldiz playing low, he played high, and then got that double tap right on top of T-Corral, who's up now. Maybe a tie goal. What a play from Sonics. They get it back quickly.
Man, the drop down exactly when they needed it. T-Corral just dishes it to Roldiz, and they find the hole. More impressive than the play itself to me, Daz, is how quickly they answered G2 to tie it up again.
Yeah, this is good. Show Sonics aren't ready to give up just yet. Now, we have seen some stellar plays. Sonics with the team play and G2 with some solo plays. This is going to be a very interesting final 30 seconds.
Everybody looking. Susquehanna possession. Roldiz coming up on the right-hand side. Stunted by 1. Shock gets a shot, but Drees is there right in his face. And so it's G2 ball. Chicago over 1. Defense gets there first. Last possession. Shook pushes it forward, and Drees denies. As long as this ball hits the ground, we're going to OT. Chicago doesn't want to. Sends it on the left-hand side. Looking. Right lane. JNAPS still up. Sends it towards mid. 2 defenders in net, and we're going to OT.
Woo. Okay, G2 with a lot of pressure towards the end of that one. They really wanted that goal. But good on Sonics defense. Shock in a bad spot here. But will he be able to actually make contact? No, he needs help from T-Corral, who will end up getting demoed, but that's an easy rotation back for him. This one's starting off a little bit in favor of Sonics in terms of possession, but G2 excel on the counterattack, and that's what you got to be careful about.
Looking for it now, though. The counterattack. And luckily, Susquehanna able to equalize. But G2 here, luckily for them, are able to still make these passing plays happen. Shot on net. Shock shows up. Routine defense. T-Corral looking for something different. But Drees is there. Stuck in the midfield. Chicago wins. Past T-Corral. JNAPS is here. JNAPS is there. That's game for G2.
Man, that one's definitely got a sting for Sonics. Shot goes back, and he knew the pass was coming. It just seems like he guessed it was going high, and he was played low and right past them. G2 get away with game 2.
get away with. That is the terminology that I absolutely will agree on. I think the Sonics look so much better in game number 2. Obviously, the scoreboard will tell you that. 3-2 is better than 3-0. Next up, the sky is blue, grass is green, water is wet. But straight up, the teamwork was there, and I just didn't see teamwork in game number 1. So much closer. But at the end of the day, I mean, G2 just was a pretty play, Daz.
Yeah, that one was really good. And like I said, that quick response from Sonics was very well executed. And they're starting to get things on the right foot, but now they are in the worst spot imaginable, being down 0-2 to G2. As we load up DFH game 3 coming up, does Sonics have what it takes to pull off a reverse sweep against G2 Esports? The tall question will be answered shortly.
Shock trying to turn this one. That's something that Susquehanna has not been able to do whatsoever. We've seen them be able to answer back on their side, but as far as get possession ripped away and then keep it on the opponent's side of the field, not something we've been able to attribute to the Sonic squad. Shot from Chicago, high. And Shock will get in front of it. This time around, ain't nobody in front of Jay Naps. And goal 1 goes to G2.
And man, he makes it look so easy, but it's really off of that assist from Drees. No one was expecting the touch or the pop-up to happen. Sonics caught by surprise, I should say. JNaps sets the tone for game 3.
JNaps was impressive at the end of game 2 as well. The wind in their sails for sure. Nice shot though from Roldiz. Guess who's there? It's JNaps. Demo,
Oh,
Shock the only defender, popped above 1, popped past 2. Chicago, off of the assist from Drees, finds goal 2.
You know this has to hurt. This has to hurt. Flick over Shock. Follow up from Chicago in G2, putting the foot on Sonic's throat.
That's RLCS street right there. That's some playground ball. That don't feel good. That don't feel good, man. Shock a little bit wide. I'm sure not a shot. Sort of an errant shove. This looks like a little better of an opportunity here. T. Carell rolled his Shock all on the left-hand side. T. Carell shaves up. Not going to happen. Tree's here. And rolled it, sends it towards the empty net. Chicago's there, though, so nothing ringing. T. Carell plays it safe. Oh, he plays it safe, decides not to go for it. Drops it down to Shock defender there. Nobody for Roldiz, though. And the extra sequence pays off. Sonics on the board.
Man, you got to give so much props to T. Carell there. He legit plays around the entire G2 defense as if they're a toy and sets up Roldiz with an easy look. You need more efforts like that out of Sonics. Right now they're down by 1, but there's still plenty of time. 3:18 left on the clock.
Scary moment there, too. You know, T. Carell not taking the obvious shot winds up being the good thing. Certainly scary for the fans at home. G2 possession, drop down. JNaps wasn't ready for it. Can't shove it this time around. Roldiz changes the angle, so Chicago can't find it either. Good job by Drees trying to keep the third player out of the defensive play. But now Heel start to come in as the teammates rotate back. Impressive play here.
JNaps to Chicago! What a setup play from G2. You see JNaps with a soft touch forward. And again, not only does he play a pass Shock, he immediately removes him from the play, knocking him down. And Chicago will send it through. Right now, G2 understand that Shock in the net, it's a goal at this point. They are abusing that.
Oof. Big words. You ain't wrong. Double tap. Chicago sends it high. The biggest thing for me there, DeMar, was the idea that G2, you're asking the team to play routine defense, right? Your enemy. Oh, no! Oh, no!
Man.
And this is the same thing in all honesty. So G2 are taking shot after shot after shot, and they're going for the quintessential, I just joined my first team rotation, right? 1-man, 2-man, 3-man, rotate back for boost. 1-man, 2-man, 3. And in theory, the defense should be able to go and deal with that. Problem is, G2 just continue the rotation till they get what they consider an inevitable breakdown. Daz, I think that led to goal 3 and 4.
Well, there's something a little bit more, and now I got to take back my shot quote, because at this point, this is just G2's offense here. And you talk about 1-man, 2-man, 3-man, it's more than that. It's 1-man, he plays the ball up, then goes for either a demo or boost steal or both. Then 2-man plays the ball, does the same thing. Then 3-man comes up, does the same thing. They have to look at more than just the ball on the side of Susquehanna Soniqs. They, like in the last goal, Rodis and Tikura both jumping to dodge. I think it was Chicago or Dries. Someone was looking for a demo, and they had to dodge that while also playing the ball. And by the time Chicago came and put a shot up, it was far too late. And I think that's how they're abusing them.
It's the off ball everything else from G2. You know, like you're juggling, and the dudes off the side are throwing the balls at you, and you got to be able to deal. You also got to be able to do the other stuff, the stuff after the stuff, if you will. And like that's how G2 are winning this match, from my perspective, is nailing all of the other stuff off the ball. The Sonics can't seem to keep up, and with a minute to go, 3 goals needed to tie. G2 on match point, and they just keep pushing the advantage bar.
Oh man, just straight up speed on that one. Even though there's a double commit on a 50, since there's no one from Sonic's home, JNAPS can just come and pick up another one. That's his second goal. He's shooting 2 for 3. Chicago shooting 3 for 7. Dries, he doesn't need to score. He's the assist man. 3 assists from him. G2. They look good today, and they have been taking it to Sonics. About 30 seconds remaining in this series, and yeah, I think it's safe to call this one.
I mean, when you're a team like G2, you're not allowed to lose down here. Like that's, you know what I mean? It's already much that you've, and I don't mean by like actuality. I mean the 3 players on the team are probably more mad than their fans. You know what I'm saying? Like you're just used to a certain level of prowess, and so. If I'm honest with you, I expected G2 to come out like we've seen in Game 3 the entire set. I did not expect the Sonics to play as well as they did, at least in Game number 2. It was a nice sight to see, but Daz, we're going to end it here in 3 games. G2 in 3.
Yeah, G2 take this one, and it's a clean win. But man, oh man, did they really just put on the pressure. They never let up. I think that's the biggest thing. But throughout the entire series, they kept that same offensive energy. And I think that's really what separates G2 from a lot of teams that we see in the bubble too. You talk about teams like Pittsburgh Knights, Stromboli, Ghost even. And the G2, they will not put their finger off the gas. It's very rare to see them, let up. And even in that game, they're up by 2 goals, 3 goals. They want to keep going, make sure they finish it out. So G2 looking good. We'll see how far they go in terms of this regional.
I mean, that's certainly enough to put them forward. The Sonics, of course, unfortunately have to put down their controllers, but G2 now waiting for the winner of Space Station and Shopify right now, or the loser rather. And so Shopify Rebellion seems to be in that position. Space Station winning their set 2-1. But a lot of Rocket League to be played on that side, so I'm not going to lock anything in just yet. But G2 certainly a turnaround from stage number 1, Daz. I think looking forward, things trending upwards for G2.
Things are trending upwards for G2 for now. Like I said, it's going to be very interesting following their bracket, as the matches today have been telling, so to speak. Some teams showing up, some teams bowing out, but that's what makes the knockout gauntlet so exciting.
Coming up next, we have honestly a really good matchup. Xset versus Rogue. I think these teams are quite evenly matched. I think the players on the field have a lot of similarities, and I think we're honestly ready for a barn burner. So we're going to go ahead, get things aside, get the players all ready behind the scenes. Myself and Dazarin, thank you so much for watching. We'll be back here on UGC.